Hello out there in internet land. We're looking at my original garden bed. When I put this in, I had cedar around it, which rotted, and now I have these these concrete blocks. They're not pavers. Anyway, I've got some purple hull peas and cucumbers, not many green onions, some okra that looks like it is in its right territory, some bell peppers which look like they are having a hard time, it says I need to move closer to my phone. It's like, what the hell have I got to do? I'm holding it in my hand. Anyway, asparagus, which looks pretty cool after it gets a few raindrops on it. I think it's finally thick enough to do something. Next year I'll plant some. Oh, I've got a Thai basil right there. That's cute. Another green onion. A tomato that was wonderful until I had some of this stupid twine holding it up, and it had like 15 pounds of tomatoes and broke, and it nearly killed itself. I don't know if you can see that place where it messed up both branches of the plant, but it's nearly dead. All right, cucumbers are Imperator. Look at that monster. These things are supposed to be 10 to 12 inches long. So that one's pretty long. They hide. Oh, there's one that's getting there. Over here, earlier I had some potatoes and green beans in here. These Roma tomatoes are pitiful. But now I have some squash. I used to have squash in this bed. Oh, this area right in here was something I've done this year. I used a square-shaped shovel to peel off the dirt. And I had corn, purple hull peas, and squash in this bed. Now I've got okra. My theory with okra is that I can use the seeds. Each one of these is an okra that I planted. The seeds can be used to, I'm going to make flour if it works. And then I can make biscuits that are really nutritious. An old blueberry bush. It's almost dead, but the stuff coming out of the ground is not. There's a blueberry bush that's not doing so great. This one was pretty good this year, and it has some new growth that looks healthy. Corn and purple hull peas growing here. I did this year. I didn't dig up all of this dirt. I dug some holes, put some compost in, and then planted and covered up the holes. Here's a blackberry. This is 3 sunflowers that I just put in today. This is 2 pumpkins. I've been eating a lot of pumpkin seeds, and I think pumpkins are good for me. I have to worry about eating too many carbs. Going over here under this tree, this is where I can work fairly well. This is my compost station. I made this a couple of days ago. It's mainly oak limbs that fell down out of the tree. This is a few months old. It was up to about right there, and I've used some of it. I've got a gas wood chipper. I don't want to take it all the way out, but it's there. I can do some of my work sitting in the swing. Over here is a bunch of wood chips that I bought earlier this year, January, February or something. had 3 cubic yards of hardwood chips. I think I've got a little trouble with my gutter. Here, as I have removed a little dirt, I've been putting it in here to make a berm. Need a little more in here, a couple of inches or so, and I want to steer the water around the house. It has a tendency to want to build up in that corner, and it would love to flood the house, but I haven't let it. So, in the interest of reusing anything I can find, I have some pieces of concrete that I want to hit with a hammer and use that as part of my berm. This is a peach tree. I thought I had killed it, and down at the bottom you can see some aluminum foil. I've tried doing air layering to get some roots on a limb down there. At some point I'll try to put that limb into a pot and see if it'll grow. Here is my second bed, which is about 3 years old now, and it's strawberries. They're not doing that great. The plants look healthy, but I don't know. This is basil. That's thyme. Thyme is small plants, but might be good. I put in 2 blueberries this last week, I guess. That's one of them, and I've got a fair amount of compost around it. This is one from last year, another one from last year, one from last week, and I got this satsuma. I think it is Miho satsuma. This is exciting. It's rotting vegetable matter, which I'm using as fertilizer. And here, this one is rotting fish. So I have fish fertilizer, and it seems to be working. I think the fish fertilizer did something pretty close to magical for the asparagus. The main thing that I'm discovering is how to build soil. I don't have a lot of weeds because the compost on the top is preventing them from getting to the light. Down below, you can see the dirt is pretty nice. I do have some worms here and there. So the idea is to feed everything that lives in the soil. They all cooperate. And that is a lesson that I think I'm learning, is that everything needs to cooperate. Humans need to cooperate. Humans need to be free. I have this idea that we should be free to go anywhere we please, except of course private property. We shouldn't impinge on others' rights. But if we could travel to any country we've chose, and if we could just take care of the land that we are supposed to take care of, the world would be a better place. About 50 years ago, in 1973, I participated in a NSF project that studied pollution from the Cleveland, Mississippi sewage system into the Sunflower River. And my interpretation of that was that the pollution from the river, that's my dog Coco, he's trying to help me with my pumpkins. Hope he doesn't help get them out of the ground. Anyway, the Sunflower River was muddy. We put a boat in the river, and to get to the bank of the river, you had to go through about, I don't know, 2 feet of mud. It gets really sticky when you got 2 feet of mud. And the river was very muddy, and it was obvious what the problem was. The farmers farmed down to the water's edge, and nothing prevented the dirt from washing away. And it seems pretty clear that we should do better than that. All right. Looking at things, you can see a strange looking structure that is holding up a little bit of my cucumber crop. And then this thing is some crazy idea that I had for holding up plants also. I need to get better at building those things. But you got to try in order to do it. I put this up this year as a shade cloth. That's about it. My lesson for today: cooperate. And that should be a lesson for all of us for all time. We need each other, and we need to try to take care of the planet. That is our purpose. Later.